Hey everybody, Alan Brochstein from New Cannabis Ventures and soon from 420 Investor at Seeking Alpha. Um, I'm sorry I missed last week. I was on vacation with my wife. And for those that follow me, you know that that was actually a miracle. And Hanukkah is the season of miracle recognition. And we celebrated Hanukkah kind of coincidentally, by being in San Francisco and somewhere else for the full extent of Hanukkah. And it was a great trip. I loved it, and things went really well for me. And this week, I ceased working at Benzinga. I'm not going to say anything bad about Benzinga. In fact, I'll say something good. They stepped up and worked with me at a time when before the industry took off. I've been covering public company stocks since 2013 professionally. And thank you, Benzinga, for that. That's about all I'll say about Benzinga, except that I'm done working with them, it appears. Um, I'm not yet live at Seeking Alpha to the public, but I'm going to get there. But I am still very actively involved in cannabis stocks. I did close all my model portfolios yesterday, and I liquidated all the securities at the model portfolios at Benzinga. And I do plan to restart that process um, at Seeking Alpha. I'm a big Seeking Alpha fan, and I'm hopeful to be providing you or people you know services soon. I had originally hoped that by now I would be live to the public at Seeking Alpha, but unfortunately it's not happening. The very latest, as I've written about, would be mid-May, and I'll say more about that later, not here right now. So in this review that I share with my friends via YouTube, um, I usually go over the news of the last week and things that I share with my subscribers. And this was a very quiet week. And the only news that I shared was that Spring Big is facing delisting. Well, that's not really news, but they put a date on it. Mid-June, they have to get their price back above $1, which is 100% higher, and or they'll be delisted. And that was really it. There was no industry news at all. It was the end of the year. And so I also talk in this thing about how the market performed, and the global cannabis stock index was unchanged at 971. During the week, it made a new low, but it recovered. And the MSOS, the ETF, which too many people, in my opinion, trade as if it's the cannabis market. It's only a part of the market. And as I've written, MSOS is overly concentrated in the largest MSOs. In fact, it's gotten even worse than when I wrote about it for the public. And the concentration now is 81% in the top 5 names, 75% in the top 4 names, or 74% actually. And it was down this week, new all-time low. And here's the thing to think about if you're an investor in it. It traded this week at more than a 2% discount to the net asset value at the end of the day. I say it traded, it closed. And then that was on Wednesday. On Thursday, it closed at 1.5% discount. And on Friday, it closed at a 1% discount. And you can go back in time. They haven't yet published it, I don't think, for Q4, but they've given every other quarter since inception. And you can see, you have to go back, way back in time to find this much of a discount this frequently. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to give that some thought. I'm going to be writing at Seeking Alpha. I've already written one article on MSOS. I want to spread it around. I'm not so sure I want to go write about MSOS again, but I think this is very important. The ETF was down a lot this year, more than the global cannabis stock index, more than the more appropriate American Cannabis Operator Index. And I think I'm right. it's not a good ETF. I suggested when I wrote this on Seeking Alpha that even though I wasn't saying you should, in general, I was saying if you're the type of person that needs an ETF and uh, and you want a big ETF, you should buy Tim Seymour's. Um, um, is it called? I forgot what it's even called. Allocation. I forgot. Amplify. Uh, and it has done much better. And so that was actually great advice. So, number one, it was good to be negative on MSOS. Number two, I gave the few people that are limited to what they can buy and want to buy an ETF, I gave them a better idea. So, I also closed my model portfolios this week. And, as I said, the overall index was unchanged. My flying high, which is a swing trading model portfolio, was up 0.6%. And my other two model portfolios, which are longer term focused and measured against the global cannabis stock index, which was unchanged during the week, were down 1.5%. And I'm not happy with Q4. And it basically left me in the same position as the overall market year to date, down over 70%. And, I'm not happy with this. I have always done better, and this year I only matched it. Those model portfolios are closed now. I'm not providing model portfolios, but I have a lot of ideas. I'll figure out a way to share them. I also share the calendar, and we do have in 2 weeks, not in exactly 2 weeks, but in the second week of the year, Tilray will be reporting its quarterly earnings. That's the only thing on the calendar, and there's nothing on it this week. So I'll just tell you, I like cannabis stocks. I am not running 420 Investor at Benzinga anymore for a lot of reasons. I'm very excited to be shifting to Seeking Alpha. I'm already writing there, and I will continue to write there. And I'm hoping very soon, but certainly no later than mid-May, to be able to work with you there to share my research and my ideas, which I've been doing for over 9 years. Have a good new year and a good week ahead. Thank you.